In this video, you'll learn why the billionaire Chuck Feeney gave all his money away, where his money ended up, and what he's doing now. Imagine working your entire life to build up your business empire only to spend your last years on Earth living in a small, rented apartment with a small fraction of your billion-dollar fortune. Now imagine making it your life's goal to give away all your money so that you can do this. Is it crazy or is it beautiful? Before we find out more about the billionaire who tried to go broke, make sure you don't miss our next video and subscribe at the button down below. Chuck Feeney, the man who gave his fortune away. Chuck Feeney was born on April 23, 1931 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He lived a normal life, went to Catholic school, and served in the U.S. Air Force as a radio operator during the Korean War. He would later be known as the James Bond of philanthropy. In the 1950s, he collaborated with college classmates named Robert Warren Miller to start selling duty-free alcohol to Americans serving in the military overseas, particularly in Asia, where Feeney served. He saw a need for concessions free of import taxes while enlisted, and when he got out, he took his idea and ran with it. What started with alcohol turned into cars, which expanded further from there. On November 7, 1960, Duty Free Shoppers Group was officially founded, and Feeney's business hit the ground running. It became a major operation worldwide, and it would go on to make billions of dollars in profit over the years. Money did not make him happy. As his company did well, Feeney came to a lot of wealth. He made an attempt at living as billionaires do, but it didn't last long because it didn't make him happy. Luxury items and excessively expensive trips just weren't the kind of thing that he was comfortable with. After realizing that he didn't have to flaunt his money just because he had it, he became a much happier person. When traveling, he flew economy every single time until he was in his 70s. Even when those he was traveling with were flying in first and business class, he carries his papers around with him in a plastic bag instead of a briefcase. He owns one pair of shoes, and he wears the same $10 watch every single day. If you saw Chuck Feeney walking down the road, you'd have no idea that at one point this was one of the richest men in the world because he carries himself so modestly. His business partner Robert Warren Miller went in the exact opposite direction with his life. Miller currently holds a $6 billion fortune, owns luxury homes in major cities all over the world, and is the 293rd richest person in the world. While all of Miller's children are socialites, Feeney's children were instructed to work odd jobs during the summers growing up. Two billionaires, one with kids going shopping during the summer and one with kids working as waitresses at local restaurants. It's no wonder that the former business partners no longer have any kind of relationship. But Feeney was different, and he wanted to make a difference with his money. He didn't want expensive things and didn't want a pile of money to be thrown in his casket when he died. He wanted to make a difference, and when he realized that money was the root of all evil, so he used that evil for good. Chuck Feeney's Atlantic Philanthropies. In 1982, Feeney founded Atlantic Philanthropies in secret. His goal was to secretly give his entire fortune away to worthwhile causes by September 14, 2020. Unfortunately, in 1996, his entire operation was unveiled after he went to court with his former business partner. But this didn't deter him from reaching his goal. His motto throughout the entire project was giving while living. And through his philanthropy, he spoke to multiple other billionaires about the importance of putting your money where your mouth is and using it to make a difference while you're alive. He signed on to the Giving Pledge, and the Gates and Buffett families have both said that he was a big inspiration when founding the project and that he really inspires them when it comes to philanthropy work. Out of the $9 billion that Feeney gave away through Atlantic Philanthropies, $3.7 billion of it went to education. Cornell was the single greatest beneficiary of Feeney's donations. The educational institution received $1 billion in donations, including $250 million that went to building a technology campus on New York City's Roosevelt Island. Feeney attended Cornell on his GI Bill and knew firsthand the huge impact that education makes in the world. So when he was donating, he was very adamant about ensuring that it was properly funded. Feeney gave $870 million to various human rights issues, including $76 million that helped set the groundwork for Obamacare, and $62 million that are still being used to assist with abolishing the death penalty in the United States. He donated $700 million to healthcare, including $176 million to the Global Brain Health Institute, $270 million to improve public health care in Vietnam, and $177 million that were split between Ireland and California to be used to find a cure for dementia. What is Mr. Feeney doing now? Out of his billions of dollars, Feeney saved $2 million for retirement for him and his wife. They currently live in a small apartment in San Francisco that they rent. They don't own a car or a house, but they're happy knowing that they gave what they had to better the world. His 5 children support themselves, and if they are to be left an inheritance, it isn't much. His children don't seem to resent him for it, though, and understand fully his commitment to helping save the world. When interviewed by the New York Times in 2007, his daughter Leslie said that it is eccentric, but he sheltered us from people using the money to treat us differently. It made us normal people. When asked why he gave all his money away while he was still alive, Feeney replied, "I see little reason to delay giving when so much good can be achieved through supporting worthwhile causes. Besides, it's a lot more fun to give while you live than give while you're dead." Chuck Feeney is an incredible man who wants the last check that he writes to bounce. But can you blame him when you've lived a life as full as he has? As they say, you can't take the money with you. If you had as much money as he did and could donate to any organization, what kind of changes would you be making in the world? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, then you should definitely click on this one right here. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.